welcome to another episode of I Can Never Be here on the Popcorn Talk Network. Guys, happy Easter. It's Easter week. No matter what religion you follow, it can still be a time of peace, a time of forgiveness, a time to just maybe reflect on things in your life. And I feel like, especially with forgiveness, I mean, that's the message of Easter. And again, no matter what religion you follow, I feel like we all have these people in our lives, maybe your companies or anything, that we feel maybe have wronged us in the past. And maybe they have. It's totally right that maybe they have sometimes, but you know what? They're only holding you back. Holding on to them and that anger and that resentment, only holding you back from success. So I encourage you this week, look ahead, release that grip of hate and just move forward, be able to forgive. And again, that is when you will achieve the greatness that is ahead of you guys. And today we are talking with someone great, someone who is the star of a show called The Oath on the Crackle network. It's a Sony network. It's a fantastic show. I've watched the show. It's so good. Such a thriller. You've also seen him though on TNT's hit series Animal Kingdom. You've seen him on Lifetime's top rated show Army Wives. Please welcome JJ Soria.
What's up? What's up?
How you doing?
I feel forgiven. I feel forgiven. You guys have already forgiven me because your great intro.
That's it.
They've already forgiven me for what I'm about to say in this interview.
There's nothing to forgive because you're gonna give such good knowledge and motivation. We were talking before the show, and again, I'm so excited. I'm excited too because of the show, The Oath, and I've watched it, and it's such a thriller.
How many episodes have you watched?
So I've watched a couple.
A couple meaning two?
A couple, yeah.
Or like 1.5?
Roughly around there.
About one and maybe a quarter?
Yeah, enough to know that I love it.
Cool.
Enough to know, and especially it comes right out of the gate strong. And it's a world that I don't think a lot of people know about either, which it questions, and that's one of the questions that I'm going to have is like, how real is this? And you're like, no, this can't be real. No, there's no way like the cops are really in these gangs and stuff like that, and I want to know kind of what research you guys did. But if you want to follow JJ after the show or even during the show, any of you on Twitter or social media right now, on Twitter, on Instagram, at JJ Soria, and then Facebook, you said it's at JJ Soria 08.
At JJSORIA08.
There you go.
Facebook.
You can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at The Only MC. Again, we are live every Monday here on the Popcorn Talk. We just want to be able to help you guys live your best life, give you some motivation, give you some encouragement and inspiration, no matter what field you are in, acting, athletics, business. We can all use a little help in our everyday lives. And we see people that we set on these pedestals, people like you, and we want to know that, guess what? You've gone through some hard times as well.
It's been all hard times. The whole journey's been hard. Yeah, man. It's been a challenge, right? The journey. It's all a journey, and I've enjoyed it all. In regards to, you asked about how much of the show is real. It's based off of, informed by real events. You have to be specific about the wording of that. Joe Halpin, who is the creator, was a sheriff deputy for 17 years, and it's embellished upon for entertainment purposes.
A little extra drama,
a little extra, but a lot of stuff is accurate in there. There were cop gangs. That the bank robbery you see in the beginning really did happen. These relationships between gang members and cops and cop gangs do exist. So, and it's all over the country. So,
and for people who don't know, you play an officer in the show, so you're right there, and you're one of the bad guys. I mean,
depends on how you look at it.
Depends on how you look at it. Is this something that you knew about, or is this something that you're learning along when you're reading the script and saying, "Wow, this is crazy"?
I was learning about it as I read it, and I found it very intriguing. You say that I'm one of the bad guys, and what I think is so awesome about this story is that it covers the gray area. Remember, people that are wearing a uniform are still people. So we as citizens may put them on a pedestal or expect to have a higher standard of them, but the reality is they're still human beings, and their lives are affected the same way ours is, financially and things of that nature. So sometimes they make some decisions, especially in high pressure situations. They make some help me out here, ill-advised
Yeah,
decisions?
it's a quick thought that might not be the best when you analyze it later.
Yeah, there you go. So it covers the gray area, and I think we are the protagonist, but we're flawed like everybody else, and I think that's what's relatable to people, the viewers. You know, you start to care for these characters because you can relate to them, and though you're not an officer of law, you can relate to being in situations where you've made decisions that you probably go back and be like, dang, I made the wrong decision there.
Be like, hindsight is always 20/20. You know, and sometimes you can get down on yourself for thinking that of like, why didn't I do this? Well, you were in a high pressure situation. You had what you thought were like 2 options, and now that you look back on it, oh yeah, if you have more time, you can see that there are other options out there. But I think too many people do beat themselves up over decisions that they make in the moment, when sometimes it's hard to make a different decision. That's the way we look at it.
Okay.
It does come out of the gate strong. I mean, literally, like we're talking about that bank robbery scene. Right away, you're like 4 seconds in, and you storm a bank, and it seems like the whole series is kind of like that, of that thriller mentality. Is that what? Did you enjoy that? Was that something that you enjoy playing, that type of a character too, even in those kind of stakes?
For sure. I love that this show just gets more and more intense. It's raw, it's gritty, it's complex. My character's very complex. And those are the characters I thrive in. Those playing characters that have to go through all these difficult decisions, and you know, my character has the issue of trying to be loyal to both his family at home and his family behind the badge and the gang, you know, and that was the ultimate challenge for Ramos, is trying to keep both sides happy. You know, how does he stay loyal to his family? And he on one hand he would take a bullet for his family, and he would take a bullet for the gang family as well, but those people would also take a bullet for him. So you feel just as what's the word I'm looking for? You feel
connected.
Yeah, but you feel like they're just as much as family as a family at home. So the decisions you make are just as important. You know, you have to have their back just the same. And I enjoyed. It was stressful to have to deal with those situations. I mean, you commit to it as much as you can.
Yeah.
So it was stressful to be in that story. The whole 3 months that we shot was just so intense, man. Even when we're on set or off, and we had a lot of when we're our downtime and we laugh and everything, but when we were focused in, and even when you were away from set, it was kind of always there in the back of my mind.
Which is good. I mean, as an actor, you're really committed to the role when that happens. I mean, you're in that for that 3 months. You're like, this is who I am. You know, I'm not JJ for this 3 months. I'm playing this role. This is who I am. I'm in this series. I'm in this show. And I think that's why people can tell that, you know, the series is good, because people are committed. Yeah. It's not like, oh, this is this actor who's playing this role.
Cast and crew, we were all committed to this project, and that's why I think it worked so well, because everyone was like-minded and came with the same passion for it and wanted to do their best and do their part and collaborate. A very collaborative group. We all worked together. I mean, on the set, I was like, yo, if anybody has any notes for me, suggestions, I'll take it. Let's try it. You know, let's run with it and see where it goes. And I was with like-minded people, and it worked out well.
And you guys were shooting in Puerto Rico. You ever been to Puerto Rico before, or was this the first time?
This
longest
was my
time.
Second time, or second or third time that I was there.
Okay, longest time though. I mean, 3 months.
Yeah.
What is Puerto Rico like for people who don't know, and especially this was kind of around the time, maybe a little before, when they obviously got hit. And I know
it was during.
Yeah.
It was during. I was there for one of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So Irma came first, and just the timing of it was impeccable, because we're filming the show, and I like to take my family, have my family take part in what I'm doing and be involved. So I flew them out. Wow. And unfortunately, it was a great idea, just the wrong time. And right when they came in, right after they came in, it was like they landed and it was going great, and all of a sudden the clouds come in, and before you know it, we're getting hit by a hurricane, and they actually stayed there with me because they couldn't get out.
Wow.
And they had gotten me a ticket to get out, and I was like, I can't leave my family. I was
Production got you a ticket?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got me a ticket to get out, and I was like, I can't leave. You know, I'm not gonna be like bring my family
Yeah.
in and then be like, all right, see ya. You
Yeah.
know? So it was an experience. I think ultimately, not to say that it was, you know, it was an experience. That and I'm from LA, so I'd never experienced a hurricane before. So I didn't. In my eyes, I was like, hey, if this is it. I was on the balcony with my bottle of whatever the heck I was drinking with actually one of our directors, Jeff Thomas, he left me. I goes, listen, I have a bottle of alcohol. You can go get it and some other survival stuff. And I didn't take any of the survival stuff. I took the bottle of liquor, and I was like, I'm out on the balcony. I was like, hey, this is it. Let's go. I'm gonna go out with a smile. Yeah.
What was it like? I mean, you said you never experienced it before. Take me through like those hours of, was it getting progressively worse? Did you feel in danger with your family?
Nature is the ultimate humbler. I don't know if humbler is a word, but it's going to be one now.
Yeah.
You see the strength of Mother Nature, and it's like, it's going to do whatever it wants to do, no matter what. And it was just so powerful, and the Irma barely missed us. You know, we got nicked by it.
Yeah.
And when Maria came, they got us out ahead of time. Actually, just right before it hit. And the people of the island, thank goodness it happened there, because I don't know if anybody else, any other people would be able to come back from that. I believe in the people of Puerto Rico. They have a spirit that I wish more of the mainland would adopt.
What kind of spirit?
Appreciation for life, a jovialness. Put it this way, for example, after the hurricane hit, they came out and they were playing instruments and singing in the dark.
Wow.
Like I was just like playing the drums and singing Puerto Rican songs, and it just showed how. Remember we talked about outside about how they handle adversity. And, you know, their families, their homes are destroyed, streets are flooded. Some don't even know where their family members are, but people are still out in the street, and they're gonna come together and with music, and they're gonna keep the spirits up, and they're gonna get through it. And I was like, those people, it was right after, and they're out like, they ain't gonna beat us. We're gonna keep going, and that was, if that's not inspiring, I don't know what is.
No, that's like, that shows you they live with so much less, and yet they're so happy. They find joy in the things that so many people just take for granted.
Man, I don't want to make it sound like Puerto Rico's a beautiful place.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, and it was paradise. It was even more beautiful before the hurricane, and it will come back to that once everything grows back, and you know they're getting on their feet right now. We just need to. I think what's great about us going back there, you know, we went back, and there was no other choice for us to then go back, because they need work. That's what they need. They need to rebuild, and by Sony, Crackle going back there, they're providing jobs for our people. I say our people because they're part of the United States.
Yeah.
So, it's providing them work, and they're going to rebuild, and they'll come back strong.
Awesome. You mentioned several minutes ago about cops who are maybe making bad decisions, and they're real people, and you kind of maybe experienced that. Did that give you maybe a new perspective? Obviously, that's something that is continually just being talked about across the country, of the actions of police officers, and they're really scrutinized sometimes. What did you learn about that life, and did it give you a new appreciation for just the fact that everyone is human, and we are as humans flawed?
I would like to say that the project opened my eyes to that, but I've always understood that these are people. I've never, maybe because I've played sports and I've worn some type of uniforms of some kind, you know, throughout my life, that, you know, a uniform doesn't make a person, you know. It's just that's the job that they have. So it didn't make me realize that they were human and or just as human as any of us. It just, I guess it opened it up to, I just didn't know that there was cop gangs. You know what I mean? I was like, what? it was definitely a trip, to say the least.
Yeah. And even in the show, it's not like, oh, there's one or there's two. There's several, and they're like patrolling different areas of the city, and you're like, wait, what?
But you have to understand why they're doing it. At least in my case, we're not making enough. I'm not making enough money to. I'll say generally, we're not making enough money. I mean, listen, these guys, you're risking your life every day on the job, and you're working with. Usually, when you're going to a call, police officer are going to a call, it's not for something good, right? You're dealing with people on their worst day of their lives. So think about the people you're working with every day.
The pressure that is in that position,
right? So, you're being held to a higher standard, but you're human. But you're held to a higher standard, and you're trying to make money, trying to make a living, and you know what? You can't play in the dirt and not get dirty.
Love that.
You're gonna be in that environment. And you're gonna get dirty. It's gonna happen. How could you expect not to? I clean my place and I get dirty. You know what I mean? So, I think I just said enough with that.
No, absolutely, and it gets back again to the message that we talked about at the very beginning of the show with Easter this week. It is a time of forgiveness, and again, no matter what religion you are. No matter what religion you is. No matter what religion anybody practices, it's still that message of forgiveness. And that transcends whatever religion of realizing that we all are flawed and we're going to make mistakes. And if you can hold out of those mistakes, they're going to hold you back. And if you let go of them and realize that, listen, it happened, I can move forward, then you will, and you will achieve that greatness. Talking about it as an actor, I just want to throw out the question: how hard is being an actor, and getting to the point where you are? You know, talking about the other shows, and now you're on this show, The Oath, and one of the stars. And how hard was it to get to this point?
It was a journey. It's as easy or as hard as you make it. I'll put it that way, because it's all a learning process. There is no. Even the idea of success. Society gives us this idea of what success is. That's not the case. Your success is whatever you believe it is. At one time, I thought I was going somewhere. I was chasing something. I was chasing society's idea of success, and I didn't realize I'm already successful. If I'm honest with myself, I think I'm successful. Listen, I live in a little one-bedroom apartment, and I have my little car. You know, I'm not rich, but I'm successful. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I get to make a living. I'm very lucky to make a living doing what I enjoy doing. It's not. I don't like to call myself an actor. I'm a human being. I'm a performer. You know what I'm saying? An entertainer. I love acting. I love to do what I do. But the journey, to get back to your question, the journey has been a learning lesson, and even though there may have been times where I've felt that I wanted to be where I'm at now sooner, I'm at where I'm supposed to be. At this, like I told you when I was watching Rick's interview, he said it best. Everything sets you up for where you are at that moment. You know, and that's what I said when I got to the island. I go, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm right where I'm supposed to be at the time.
It's easy to say that on an island, but I see where you're going with that.
Yes, it is. Man, I was like, we had this awesome project, this script, this cast that I got to work with, and crew of talented people that were open-minded and collaborative on this beautiful island. I go, they set us up for success.
Yeah.
I go, the only thing, if this thing's messed up, it's because of us. You know what I mean? Because they set us up in a prime position.
But it's so true you're saying that if you achieve things at different times when you want to achieve them, then the next gate that's supposed to open at this certain time, then you miss that gate.
Yeah.
And you miss that next opportunity because you forced something or because it was your timing that you wanted it to happen in.
You got to be patient. You got to be patient and just keep learning and keep growing, and enjoy the moment that you're in. That's what it's really all about. You know, it's great to have ambition, and I'm an ambitious person, but you have to really enjoy the journey. And it took me a while to get that. Like I heard it so many times. Like, yeah, I am enjoying it. I am in the moment. But there was a bit of an aha moment where I was like, actually, I went to Alaska. Crazy how I'm taking this over there, but I was in Alaska and I was on a glacier, and I want to say it was the first time I was really humbled. Like I've looked up the word humility and humbled, and I'm to get the real definition because I heard so many people, especially in the industry, when the people getting awards, I'm humbled by this, and I'm like, I don't understand how you're humbled by this. People are glorifying you. Okay, but I was humbled by nature just by its mere presence, and when I was on that glacier, I looked up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just this little speck in time and space.
Yeah.
What? When you really realize that, this is all cute. What we do is very fun. But the real world is so much more bigger. So it just kind of, it took this stress that I was putting on myself of trying to get somewhere and do something. I was like, hold up, man. Let me just enjoy this. Let me just enjoy the journey that I'm on and learn what I can and just take it in. And ever since I've adopted that mentality, the journey has been even richer. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's richer, not monetary. It can be monetary, but it's richer in terms of living.
Yes.
Is that the time you were talking about when you mentioned, oh, at one point you really wanted to achieve this, so you wanted to get maybe to this certain level? And was that where you were talking about that was where you kind of came off that?
Yeah, like that I'm kind of scatterbrained. But when that's what happened, I had that experience and it made me just see like I was chasing something that wasn't really my idea. You know, it wasn't my idea. It was society's idea. So of success. And the challenges that I've had, the obstacles that I've overcome, and you know the letdowns of all the rejection and all that stuff, you had to go through that in order to really appreciate where I'm at, you know, and I'm grateful for the whole journey that I've been on, and I'm excited to where I go.
Worst letdown. Did you have a time when you were really thinking that something was going to pop, or there was
once?
big
Once? How many times have I packed my bags thinking I got the job, and then I was like, no, you didn't get it, and I was like, oh man.
So the first time that happens, what is your thought process? Can you think back to what was the first time?
I mean, there's one specific time that pops out to my mind. I don't know if it was the first time,
right?
But talk about the project. Well, American Crime. Richard Cabral and I were up for a role, and he killed it. He did a great job. That was the guy to hire. But actually, I'll say, what's so interesting? I realized that this isn't a competition, really. There's a ton of great actors out there, and believe me, that there's at least 5 other guys that could play this role. They can. There's actors that are just as good as I am, even better. It's all subjective. Right? You could think I'm awesome. You could think I'm horrible. Either way, you're right. It's all, So you learn to I get scatterbrained, but you learn to understand that's your journey. And with that one, I was like, I thought I had it. The chemistry read went well. I mean, with the producer, the test went great, and I was walking out. Like I said, I packed my bags ready to go, and I really wanted to work on that project. And I actually ended up working on it anyways, but with that role. And when I didn't get it, it just it hurt.
Yeah.
Quite simply, it hurt.
It's okay to say that.
Yeah.
It's okay to have those feelings.
For sure. Because if you don't have those moments, then the moments that I get, like when I get the oath, it makes those moments like, oh yeah, great, because all those times that I've been told, and ladies and gentlemen, I've been told no way more times, and that's even the ones that I've killed, the auditions that I've done great. You could do great all the time, but that doesn't mean you're gonna get the job, and it doesn't mean you're not worthy of the job either.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Because just because you didn't get it doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's just there's so many other variables that come into play, availability, money, budget, and matching up who looks right, So once I understood all that, like really got it, it just took off so much pressure. Now I don't go in to book jobs anymore. I don't go in. I just go in to play. I of course, listen, I want a job. Like I wanted to book the
You want to book the job, but that's not what you're striving to do. You're striving to be you.
When I'm in that moment in the room, I just want to play. And I come in with an idea. I go, okay, here's my interpretation of the character and how I see it. If you dig some of what I'm doing, then we'll play. We'll collaborate. And when I'm in an audition, I'm auditioning you just as much as you're auditioning me, because I want to see how I work with you. How do we communicate? Do we speak the same language? And because that's going to tell me what kind of experience I'm going to have on this project. So I take that experience and I try to have the best experience in that moment, just the audition, and be able to walk out of there, be like, boom, I did it, and it was a good experience. And then if I get the job or not, well, that remains to be seen. But as long as I go in there and do my work and I left it all in the room, I'm good.
Is it hard when you're starting out as an actor? And I have friends who are doing that, and you're trying to get that first role or that second role to really get your name out there, to get noticed by people. Was that hard, or what struggles are you going through in that time, especially starting out where you're really grinding?
Ask me that again.
What struggles are you going through when you're on that grind, especially initially, to really make your name known? Before you have any project, you're trying to get even those auditions.
You're assuming my name is known. I don't think.
No, but I'm saying before you even get the role, getting an audition is a success.
Oh yeah.
What is that grind like?
It's knocking on the door. Okay, they're not gonna listen. Who's gonna answer? Who's gonna give you an opportunity? It's just I don't know if trial and error is the right way to put it. You keep knocking on the door. You keep knocking until someone answers. It's I don't know if that's answering your question.
No, it is.
I mean, financially, is that what you're talking about? Like, I mean, we could talk about how when I was collecting, I was living on unemployment. You know what you need to do in this industry or anything that you're going after? You need true self-belief. You have to believe in yourself. And again, Rick talked about that last time when I was watching it this morning, and I'm like, yup. I always, like, first of all, unlike him, I didn't grow up wanting to be an actor. I'm an athlete first. I will always be an athlete. I love athletics. But when I took a class at community college, and I listened to what acting was about, storytelling and creating characters, I go, oh, I can make a living doing that. I'm an actor. I don't know if I'm gonna make a living at it, but I just believed. I believed that I could. I was like, oh, I could do that. Just got to put forth the same work ethic that I did in sports into this. And there was no, I'm gonna try this. It was just, I believe in myself and I believe I could do it. And listen, I'm not saying that, oh, then I started booking everything. No, I sucked. You know what I'm saying? I had to work on my craft and ultimately learn about myself. When the more you learn, the more honest you are with yourself, the more you learn. All the answers are inside. That's what I learned. At least from my journey, I've gone to myself, and the more I've evolved as a man, and like right now, I'm at peace, and I love who I am as a person, and that I constantly seek peace and understanding, peace within myself, and understanding why I think the way I think, and I try to understand why other people think the way they think. And that mentality has helped me out a ton in life overall. And I believe this is a part of my life, so it's definitely influenced my work.
You brought it up, so I'm going to dive into it a little bit. The unemployment. And we talked about humility. How humbling maybe was that? Or was that to be able to start doing that, to be able to continue on your journey? Was that humbling? What was your thought process at the time? What was your emotions trying to...
Stress. Like before getting into acting, I used to work with special needs kids for LAUSD.
Awesome.
That's where this is my route to where I'm at now. I graduated high school, my first job was Blockbuster. That's when I knew. That's when I knew.
Rest in peace.
But that's when I knew I was gonna become an actor. Now, I'm at Blockbuster. This is the start. Putting up the movies on the shelf. I'd worked at Blockbuster for a year, and then I worked over at Universal doing security. And from there, I worked at a nightclub on the security premises, and then from there, they had me working with that company had me working with like celebrities and stuff like that at special events. And like I was always, I guess it makes sense because you're in Hollywood, you're in the environment. But then from there, and then taking the fast forward, I'm kind of skipping stuff. But fast forward, taking that class, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do, or this is what I'm gonna do, and starting to pursue it. And then you go, you have your day job, and I did things that I did what I had to do in regards, such as honestly leaving work when I wasn't supposed to go on auditions. I risked. My arms say life is a gamble, and I'm all in. I have it on my arms.
Really?
Yeah, and that's how I approach. I'm a risk taker. Another example, there was a time where I was kind of weaning myself off from being full-time with the school district to going to subbing, and a little acting job here, a little acting job there, and that was paying the bills. But primarily my was paying the bills was the substitution work for the school district. And then I got to a point to where I just wasn't happy. I wasn't being fulfilled by that day job anymore. It was like as soon as I clocked in, I was looking at my watch. At first, I felt like I was making a difference with these kids, and after a while, I felt like babysitting. So there was nothing I was getting from it, and I was kind of depressed in a way. So I had to ask myself, I go, how much do I really believe in myself? Do I really believe in myself? And actions speak louder than words. So I ended up retiring or quitting in the position, and I was collecting unemployment, and I was getting by with that, and then little residual checks, and talk about the bank account dwindling, and then I ended up booking Army Wives at the right time.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was I had to believe in myself. And I know it was tested. It tests you, and definitely you have those moments of more than once. Damn, did I make the right decision? You second guess yourself. Mom. Something along the lines of, Mom, did I make the right decision? Whatever. And well, you're doing it, and ultimately I just wanted to hear something.
Yeah.
But I knew I was gonna stick with it, but I had no choice, because that's what I set myself up. I had to put myself in a position where I had to do it, right? And that was my only option. Hey, luckily it worked out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a possibility. Hey, it's a possibility that the oath could be my last job. You have to recognize those things. You can't be scared of it. You understand it, and it just makes you appreciate the moment that you're in. I don't believe this is my last job. I believe I'll work for a long time. But you have to acknowledge those things. I think if you try to ignore them, I think that's not good, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah. What drives you then? I mean, looking at the things that you kind of overcome, and the attitude of even not wanting to be an actor, and now realizing that is something that you're good at, and that is something that you enjoy, and being comfortable that this could be the last opportunity, or the next opportunity could be the last. What drives you to get that next role and get that bigger role and expand?
I want to reach my full potential. That in life overall, like my biggest challenge in life is getting my body to the way I want it, aesthetically. English is my first language, by the way. It's barely my first language, but aesthetically, I wanted to get my body to a certain position, and I haven't yet. But I forgot why I went there. Where was I going? What'd you say before?
What drives you?
yeah, to reach my full potential. So reaching my full potential physically, reaching my full potential as an artist, reaching my full potential just as a human being, you know, being the best I could be at whatever I do, whether it's boxing, whether it's inspiring people, you know. I just try to do the best I can, and I don't believe I've reached it yet. I don't believe I've reached my full potential. And that's not, and excuse me, and that's not ego. That's from a place. That's me honestly looking at myself and saying, nah, I got more to give. I got more to give. I have more to offer.
Can someone reach their potential, or should that be a stopping point? Or will there always, or should there always be that next step? When you reach something, say, all right, next.
I'll say that there is no, it's whatever it is to you. Right, man, we're all on our own journey. Like I may believe it is, but you may think something different. I just feel that you're gonna, and to the point that I feel like I don't want to do this no more. Then that's when I'll know. Like, okay, I've done it. Let me go conquer something else. You know, I could choose not to be an actor no more and go live in Brazil and, I don't know, go be a painter or go sell coke.
You can't go back to Blockbuster. I'm sorry. It's just not. That option has closed. It's okay.
For real. It really has closed. Actually, there is one Blockbuster left, I think, in Alaska.
Really?
I saw something. Yeah.
Still alive.
Yeah, holding on.
Ready for a comeback. What is your definition of success?
Reaching my full potential. Will I ever? I don't know. We'll find out. I try to live in the moment as much as possible. I take a day at a time. I do have goals. You know, like I read a list of goals. Matter of fact, booking a series was one of the goals on the list for 2017. I only missed 2 goals last year.
So then do those goals carry over to the next year?
Yeah.
So what's the next goal?
Learn Spanish. One of them. Actually, my top priority is to start investing in real estate property, and because I don't want to make a living acting. I want to have acting, the money I make from acting, to use that to invest into getting cash flow, and once I have other avenues of income, then I just end up doing the jobs whatever jobs that I want to do, you know, or go out on the whether it's going out on auditions and booking a job that I want to. I'm only going out on the ones I want to go to, as opposed to there's been paycheck jobs that I've fortunately got, you know, but I want every job that I work on to be the one I want to be on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and that's why I
want every job to be the Oath, because the Oath is this job, man. Oh, I love it. I love it, bro. I love the people I'm working with. I love the character that I have. Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? It's awesome. The feeling that I have while I'm doing this project, I want to continue to have all the time.
And I think it's not that you will. It's never that you're not going to work as hard, because I heard that from some world-renowned inspirational speaker who said, you look at these people who are now working harder now, even though they have so much money, the Warren Buffetts, the Bill Gates, the Jeff Bezos from Amazon, and they have so much money, billions and tens of billions of dollars. I think Jeff Bezos is like $109 billion now, and he's working harder now than what he did to start. But the difference is he's made enough money to now the work that he's doing is solely on projects that he wants. And the projects that he is really invested in and loves. And I think that's what you're talking about, is your work will never change. Your level of work will never change. It's just where your focus will be.
Yeah.
When you achieve something and it's like, okay, now my focus is on this, and I'm going to still work that same amount just in this other area.
My work ethic.
Yes.
Is no matter what I do, it's always extreme. I'm excessive. I'm an extreme person. So even with the work, with the Oath, I'm still working on my character. As a matter of fact, we haven't been picked up for a second season yet, but I still work on it. Whether it's keeping in contact with the girl who plays my daughter, Or matter of fact, I was at the grocery store one day, and my playlist had a song that we were using on set, and it came up while I was at the grocery store, and it immediately clicked me back in. As a matter of fact, it was a song from Sicario, the Sicario soundtrack. And as soon as it clicked on, it put me right back into that headspace of the character. And I started watching, this is no lie, I started watching this guy at the store, and I started playing the scenario in my mind of who he was and what was he doing. Like, I'm just constantly checking back in with where I'm at with the character that I'm playing, just to make sure that it's still there. So
you're always preparing.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing. Someone, they always say like, "Oh, you're waiting for the right opportunity." Don't wait for the right opportunity. Prepare for the right opportunity. So then, when the opportunity comes, you're ready.
Yeah. Well, they say isn't that what they say? Luck is preparation meeting opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's never just something that comes along. I love your attitude of what you were saying. I think I love it. It's not a competition.
You're talking like me now, bro.
It's like you. There's so much good stuff. It's just what to get out. Is that it's not a competition. Is that you look at it and there are 5 people who can play any role, and it's not a competition. Don't go to a competition.
No,
if you think of it like this, then you think of that you've lost.
Yes.
But you haven't lost. You've grown no matter what. You've learned from that audition. You learned from the people that you talk with, and preparing for that matters.
Yeah, I don't look at it as a competition. If anything, it's a competition between me and myself about believing in myself and just, yeah, because only I could screw it up in that room, and I just, again, it's all about doing the work. It's about the work. It's not about the job. You go and you perform, and whether you get the job or not it's out of your control until you take, unless you want to be a producer and produce your own thing, then go ahead and do that. But yes, I've for a long time, the competitive side of me, I guess, would look at, or maybe even insecure, looking at the other people in the room, like, dang, so and so's here. Oh, so-and-so's here. And it got to a point to where I was like, you know what? No, man, and it's not that they're great. There's other great talent in the room. Yeah. I acknowledge the fact that they're great too. So go in there, do your thing, man. One of us are gonna get it. And look at, I may not get this one, but I'll get one of them. Eventually I'm gonna book one. So because you're busy and you're busy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get one. So especially now with all the different platforms.
Yeah.
I am in a very blessed and a great time to be doing what we're doing, because there's so many different there's so much content out there, and platforms to have opportunity for work. So,
and that's the same for, again, actors, musicians, athletes. There's so many leagues. There's so much, like you said, content and need for content right now. There's no way that if anyone keeps pushing that you're not out there at some point. So thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, I really appreciate that. And again, guys, check out The Oath on Crackle. Seriously, it's so good. It's free. You don't need that Netflix subscription. You don't need that Hulu subscription. It's free on Crackle.
I can't believe I didn't mention that. Yes, it's completely free. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No credit card information.
But if you want to send him money, you can just simply Venmo him his. No.
I will take gift cards. I will take money. Order.
Yeah, send them to the studio too. I'll take some as well. Guys, follow JJ on Twitter, on Instagram at JJ Soria, on Facebook at JJ Soria 08. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at The Only MC. Again, every single Monday, we are live here on the Popcorn Talk, and you can also follow us on Apple iTunes. We're all traveling different places. Yeah. Maybe not Puerto Rico, but we're all traveling different places.
Definitely get out to Puerto Rico if you haven't been. Get out there.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate you being open. Again, to be able to share your experiences of the good times, the bad times, and the attitude that you now have. It's inspiring. And I think that's what a lot of people need to know on their rise to success.
Definitely.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.